Hello everybody, I'm Duff, and welcome to another Ultimate Golf VIP tournament, a fun chance for you guys to play alongside the VIP. We're going to go hole for hole with them over 18 holes. You're going to see everything they do and have a chance to beat them. Along the way, we're going to throw some missions at you. As you complete those missions, we're going to give you some pretty awesome rewards. We've had playing this tournament some celebrities, some fellow players, some game developers, and that's who we have today. We are joined by Hyp Brent, who has been making video games since controllers had cords and you plugged them into your TV with a coax. Hyp Brent, welcome to your VIP tournament.
It's good. Excited to be here. It's a little odd. I've played, thousands of rounds of Ultimate Golf, usually in a development environment because we're building features. And just like when I was doing a VIP Royale, a little bit of nerves. I'm not gonna lie. Just you're not wanting to embarrass yourself. So yeah, gotta shake. Hopefully, get through this first hole and things will be good.
Did you play any warm-up holes? You hit the range a little before you came out today, Brent?
As Hyp Brent is known to do in real life, showing up 5 minutes before the tee time, running up onto the tee box while tying up my golf shoes, and just swinging away. So that's how we're going to roll in the game today.
Yeah, perfect. Look to your buddy. You got a tee? Here, throw me a tee. Quick, throw it in, and away you go. All right, Brent, whenever you are ready, we are going to start our journey through Whispering Pines here.
All right, well, let's see if we
can Pines. Fun little course for you.
Get off the tee. Uh-oh. It wasn't perfect, but hopefully it works out.
You know what? You're good. One of the nice aspects of all these fancy balls is the swing zone. And look at that. It just hangs on. You're going to have a nice little chip here. So Whispering Pines, it's about 90 miles north of Houston. I'd heard of it, I think, before. I'd seen it in other games and stuff, but it is like a top-rated course. It's the #1 course in Texas and has been for years.
Yeah, they play, and I was fortunate enough to attend this event, but they have the Spirit International, which is a worldwide amateur tournament where all the top amateurs around the world come and play in this Spirit International, and I saw the they have like a board of past winners and who's participated, and it is a who's who of golf. So Scotty Scheffler being a recent one that I think I remember seeing on there, who's doing pretty well right now.
Look at Scheffler turning himself into a household name in the last 2-3 years.
Yeah, and we've also got the match play championships coming up. He's the defending champ, so
yeah, he's a stud. So we started off, bit of a rough start there, 869, but the goal, I think, we talked about this before, let's birdie all the fours. We're going to eagle all the par fives, and that's going to be considered.
Yeah, I'm old school, so it's I'm not using grids or anything like that. It's all just look and feel, and maybe Duff saying I should go a little more to the left, right, front, or back every now and then. Feel free to lend your expertise to this extravaganza.
We'll see how the first few go, and if we need a little prod or poke in the right direction, maybe I'll help you out. So, Brett, you started off. You've been, as I alluded to there in the fun little jab at you in the intro. You've been involved in the video game industry for a very, very long time, and so of course I was going through a little bit of the history. You started off with some baseball games, then basketball, flirted a little bit with the hockey, into the golf, and then news to me, even some Madden in there. We're talking about the biggest franchises in video games for my generation, at least, and you've had a hand in all of them. Like, how did this whole journey start into video games?
Well, it's funny because I remember a good buddy and I in high school, we had these things called spares, and you could take 2 spares over the course of your final 2 years of high school, and 4 semesters, and we saved our spares until the very last semester of our graduating year. So we only had 2 classes a day, and we got to arrive late to school on Mondays and Fridays and leave early on those same 2 days. So it was quite outstanding. We would go back and play video games. A lot of RBI baseball back in the day, the original NES. And I remember my mom, coming in, and saying, like, just why are you always playing these video games? It's never going to amount to anything. I always like to remind her that it actually turned into a pretty awesome career. But yeah, I was going to teach high school. Went to University of British Columbia in Vancouver. Finished my degree. I was going to do my master's. It was going to teach high school. Decided to take a couple of years off before doing my master's, and got a couple of odd jobs. One of my odd jobs happened to be some friends that worked in the QA department at EA, and they're like, well, you like video games, you like sports, you'd be really good at this. And so I went in, started testing. The company was not big at the time, was able to work my way up and catch the eye of a few of the production teams, and decided to go with the baseball at the time because they were the newest team, thought it had the best opportunity for growth and whatnot. And as it turns out, oh my, whoops, sorry.
Oh, he hammered it! Oh no!
Oops.
You know what? That's just going to help the players. It's just going to help the players.
Too much yapping on my part, but I found myself, working in, design, some business, project management. And I quickly realized and decided, well, I don't want to teach high school anymore. This is pretty awesome. So I took the non-traditional route to video gaming. Parents of kids today say, well, how did you get involved? And I say, no, don't. You don't need my story. There's like fully accredited college degrees for design and engineering and everything now, specifically for gaming. So there's definitely better routes to go than a history major, economics minor for video gaming. So
now I also understand when you were at UBC. So I grew up in that area as well. For those of you who don't know, so I'm from the Vancouver area. Brent's from the Vancouver area. UBC, a very fine school out that way. I understand there might have been a little JV hockey as well when you were out there. Were you a little junior Thunderbird?
My first 2 years at UBC, played hockey on the JV team, and between practices and games, it was 6 of the 7 days a week. And so after my second year, and me being 5'9", I realized I was probably not going to make it in the NHL, and that I should probably just focus on schools. I went the intramural route the last couple of years there, but it was awesome. It was a really great time, great experience. Busy as heck, but yeah, no, it was awesome.
And talking about when you first started and you went the baseball route with EA, so growing up in Vancouver, how good is Nat Bailey Stadium? Is it not? It is a ballpark.
It is outstanding, and it reminds me. So now I relocated to Florida when I started working on the Tiger Woods business, and I'm a big Jays fan. Being the good Canadian kid that I am. I'm glad to see you representing. I'm also representing another Vancouver team here, but. So, fortunate enough to had a chance to go to a lot of spring training games here, and their ballpark in Dunedin, it reminds me of Nat Bailey. Just small. I think it's about 8,000 it holds, and not a bad seat in the house. And yeah, it reminded me of many wonderful nooners at the Nat, as we used to call them. Those noon game times.
Absolutely, getting a Triple O burger. What is the white spot burger? Something to do with Triple O.
Oh yeah.
Eating that.
Yeah. The Triple O sauce.
I remember one of my best memories as a kid was my dad taking us and a bunch of. I played baseball growing up. A bunch of my baseball mates to a game, and my dad won the 50-50, and it was fantastic. We thought that was the greatest thing ever. I think it was like $500 or something back then. But Matt Bailey.
I think I've just ruined my chance at Eagle here if I'm not.
You've got Voodoo. Your other option here, Brent, would be to switch out that Voodoo for a Gearhead, which is going to give you an extra 20 or 30 yards. But I think you're going to get there. You got a good ball. It's got lots of top spin. It's going to be a quick needle, though. We're going to see your video game skills here.
That was not bad there. I just need a big kick.
No, you'll be good. You're going to have a little tester here, but you should be good. All right, so here's where we're going to get that hive. We're going to go full top spin on it. We're going to make this. We're going to get this. Go full top spin.
Top spin.
Full top spin. There you go. We want to get that ball on the ground as soon as we can, get rid of any wind, and then just put the end of the guide, right the very, very end of it, the tip of it in the hole. And it's going to give you a nice slow needle here. There you go. You might miss that left. Just put the tip right in. Like, there you go. Just it's like paint by numbers here. Just put the tip right in. That's going to be exactly where it goes. I might be lagging on my end of the seeing your guide, but don't put any curl on it. We're going to get this eagle.
I feel like I executed the shot well.
Save the eagle out of the rough, off the tee. Phew. 999, but that doesn't matter. We got the eagle.
I'm gonna have to sneak another eagle in here somewhere to try and get back.
We're gonna get one. Goal. It's Whispering Pines. We have some short holes coming. This being one of them. This hole, it's just a blast. Just hit that RB as hard as you can. Get up as close as you can up to the green. And we're going to leave ourselves a nice little chip, either out of the rough or the sand. So we've established you like going to baseball games. You played some hockey in university, which probably means you played a bunch of minor hockey growing up. Anything else along the way? You played any baseball or soccer?
Yeah, it was all of the above. It was baseball, soccer, hockey, and then as I continued to get older and hockey became more of a focus and rep hockey and travel, the others kind of had to drop because it was just all the focus was on hockey. That does it.
So. Hockey now, like I am a hockey fan. I was a basketball player growing up, but. We're a hockey family now, and it's really turning into a 12-month-a-year sport to the point where we really. So I have daughters that play high-level rep hockey, and we had to say, all right, you know what? We're taking a couple months off in the summer. Go play soccer. Go play something else. Just be a well-rounded athlete. Look at this, Brent. There's your eagle again. Nice job. We're back on track.
All right, we're back. We're back. But yeah, it's true. You say I actually used to look forward to summers because it's that's when I would get to golf and get to do other stuff and but you're right. Hockey has become pretty much a year-round thing, especially for the kids these days. I think even I heard Wayne Gretzky talking about the fact that. He'd liked to encourage kids to play other sports and take a little bit of that time in the summer and stuff like that, but it's just it's really not the way it is these days.
Hole 7, Whispering Pines, another chance for the tailwind. So if you're watching this replay back, this tailwind, you could go with a ball with a little less wind resistance, which means it's going to get that real big push off the tee. You could fire a DX at it. You know, even fire like a Mojave or a loop, something with less wind.
It's true.
And that's going to get you probably up near that bunker, if not onto the green.
On the green.
So this one's not going to move a whole lot there, Brent. Yeah, there you go. You might even cheat that a little further left.
Yeah.
There you go. He'll be somewhere right in there. You like that backspin? I'm not going to take that away from you. This will be close. Come on, baby. You got that part right. Get in. Get in. Oh! It stops. Pulls the string right at the hole. Gives it a little look.
Darn backspin.
Oh well. You know what? We're helping the players, guys. Brent is being a good company man.
That's right. I'm a very giving person. I want our players to have a good chance at winning this. I want this to be the most played VIP challenge. So, you know, give people
Brent's
a chance.
In a -9 through 7 here. He's got 2 to go, par 3 and a par 4 to end the front 9. As he is lining up his shot here on the par 3, look at this nice tailwind with that rattler. We're going to ask him why the Road to Hana is the most beautiful drive in the entire world. I spent a lot of time on Maui, being from Vancouver. That's where we take our trips. And, oh my god. Well, between that and the luau, the old Lahaina luau, it might be my favorite spot on Earth. Get in the hole.
Bouncing it off the flagstick there. Yeah, the Road to Hana is incredible, and those the black sand beach there when you get to the 7 pools at the end of it. But if I'm being perfectly honest, I did a drive around the opposite end of Maui, going and that is an even more terrifying drive. Some beautiful views and stuff, but
it's
I've never been so scared
along the
driving
north
in
side
my
of the
whole
island.
life as I was
So
the
you're
day I
fine
did that
if
drive.
you go from Kaanapali around because you're on the inside. But if you go counterclockwise and you're sitting shotgun and you're on that outside and now you're driving down the middle and the cliff is to your right, terrifying, absolutely terrifying.
And that's what I did. Yes, we went Kahului to Kaanapali, and that was a mistake. But
and then of course you had to have done the Haleakala top of that, right?
Of course, yeah. That's a must and all the touristy things, but they're well worth it. You
all right,
at least
so we're
have
gonna
to try
chance
them all
to end
for sure.
the front 9 here with a eagle. Absolutely, this is a blast it as far as you can. Just get that target as far up the screen as you can. Full overpower, and we're gonna leave ourselves a nice little hive chip here. Now, you guys playing at home, if you want to add some pins to this hole, you can definitely make the green here. So you just need an all stat or a power either on the ball or on the club itself, and you're on the dance floor.
I'm going to go back to
so that's how. So we figured that out pretty quick. If we can get the ball onto the green as quick as we can, that's going to negate any of the wind. And so in this one, I would probably go, left edge. You're going to be close to no adjust. There's not much wind here. Watch this roll. Oh, in the cup, we end with an eagle. So Hyp Brent plays the front 9. We have the one oopsie there, getting the jitters out with the big putt. Missed putt on 3, but then we go eagle on 6, eagle on 9. Hyp Brent -12 at the turn. All right, Brent, front 9. I'm going to consider that a big success. Now, at the turn, are you a go in, have a bite to eat and a beer guy, or do you like just get right to number 10?
I'm definitely a stop at the turn and get a beer and a bite to eat, but I'm taking it with me and eating it in the golf cart.
I'm with you. I love it. Eat the hot dog in the cart.
Yeah.
Ends up all over your pants.
Exactly.
Get that beer.
Although, did you ever play Langara?
I have played Langara. Absolutely, I have.
So the thing that you learn once and then you never do it again is you grab your beer and your dog on 10 and don't leave your dog unattended or the crows will get it, which happened to me once. Never again though. Just do not leave your hot dog unattended. There's my unsolicited advice for people playing any of the Vancouver municipal
So there you
golf
go.
courses.
Anyone in Vancouver, look out for the crows. So here's another option for you guys playing along at home where you could flip over to a DX or add some pins to get right up there. You can actually drive the speeds pins in a tailwind. Whispering Pines, of course, nice and short. Brent, another solid opportunity for an eagle here. Already, his gameplay starting to change a little. Look at this, immediately going to the top spin. I love it. Let's see.
It's good. Good solid advice.
See if the Padawan can finish his training. Oh, it didn't move at all. Generous Brent again, giving one back for the players, giving them an opportunity to beat this score that he's putting up. All right, Brent, I've got a couple of this or that questions for you, knowing that you grew up on the West Coast, transplant down to... Actually, let's pause for a second here. You live where I vacation. I just want you to realize that. You live where I vacation. I just got back from a trip to Florida, and it was fantastic. Came back to real life here in sweaters and toques and winter mitts and snow shovels. But you're there year-round. Anyway, that was just throwing that out.
It is nice, I'm not gonna lie.
Here's another one. You're gonna drive this screen. So I know you're a big sports guy. You watch a lot of sports, play a lot of sports. Canucks fan, Niners fan. Which would you rather see next year? Canucks win a cup, Niners win the Super Bowl.
I mean, it's not as easy a question as you would think, but it's Canucks winning a cup. I do. Which one do I think has a better
Which one would
chance
you
next
rather
year?
see? No.
I would.
We know which one has a better chance.
But I would be. So I've become the Canucks are the number one team. Always will be. But I've definitely adopted the Lightning as my number two, and the fact that the Canucks have been around since 1970 and have 0 cups, and the Lightning have 3.
No, Niners. Niners win the Super Bowl, or Canucks win a cup, is the question.
Yeah. So
all right,
it's Canucks win a cup.
How did you become a Niners fan?
My dad was a Niners fan, and he, so by de facto, I became a Niners fan. Went to a game when I was young, and then, so I became a fan of theirs in the late '70s, and then the decade is darn good for the Niners, and actually, even though they only won one in the '90s, the '90s were also a great decade for the Niners, and so it was, and then it became not a fun time to be a Niners fan. There was a lot of years of futility. We got back on the train with Harbaugh for a few years there, then fell off the rails for a couple of years, and then Shanahan and Lynch come in and kind of get the ship steered in the right direction. So once again, it is a good time to be a Niners fan. Hopefully we can get the job done this next season, but Canucks winning cup is the priority.
Oh yeah, absolutely, 100%. Oh, came so close twice, but now speaking of Niners in that area of the country, and say arenas that you play in and sporting facilities, and say something like Candlestick Park, maybe gaining entry to it somehow. Is there? Am I on the right track?
Yeah, there might be a decent story there. So it was actually just before starting at EA. So I want to say this was in the summer of '95. 6 of us rented a motorhome, Blue Jays, down the west coast of the U.S., starting in Seattle, going to Anaheim, Oakland, then Anaheim. So amazing trip. And the first series was in Seattle. Then we made it down to Oakland. Horror story with the RV. It kept breaking down. We had to get a new alternator. I mean, it was one thing after another. So we eventually make it to Oakland, and the only advice that we got was, after the game finishes in Oakland, drive back to San Francisco and don't spend the night there. So we happened to find ourselves in an RV park that was literally right across the street from Old Candlestick Park, and there was a night that maybe some of the boys had a few too many
allegedly
maybe had a few too many adult beverages, and we thought it would be a good idea to go check out Candlestick Park. So we unwisingly, is that a word? Scaled these wrought iron gates and got ourselves in and just started wandering around the concourse. And I'm sure someone had eyes on us, but we weren't doing any harm. So, and then we thought, I said, hey, why don't we go run around the bases? I mean, how cool would that be? And the sprinklers were going, and so it was kind of a clay muddy mess around the bases, but we ran, we all got on second, and then rounded third and did head first slides into home. Now we are head to toe covered in the red mud clay mixture of Candlestick Park. So so good fun. We do that. Then we can't remember how we got in. So we decided, you know what? Let's just we'll sleep in the stands. And then they were about to be converting it from baseball to football. And I said, so we could just walk out when the crew starts in the morning. And then better judgment came about, and we thought that wasn't a good idea. So we did figure out an alternate way out of there. And as the last person touched down from getting out of Candlestick, this voice from the dark concourse says, "You guys want to see yourselves on video?" To which point we just took off running, and then there was this truck with a spotlight sort of scanning, and we didn't want to run directly back to the RV park, so we kind of ran a little ways away from it, and then slowly skulked our way back to the entrance where there's a security guard, and we're covered head to toe. A little eagle as I'm telling my story. Covered in head to toe in mud. There's a security guard. We get back to the security guard, kind of tiptoe, and we look in the gate and we see this. Guy was completely asleep, so went into the shower, fully clothed, rinsed off, and proceeded to go to bed and slept like
Meanwhile, if they really wanted to, like Hansel and Gretel and the breadcrumbs, they could have just followed the red clay footprints. Remember the old, what was the cartoon? Was it Dennis the Menace, where you would follow it around and they had all the footprints all around? I'm sure that's what it looked like. What a fantastic story, though. I think a very good ending. I'm not sure the statute of limitations in California, but I'm pretty sure you're good.
I'm hoping so. Hopefully this YouTube video doesn't get millions of views or anything like that.
Another great opportunity to get great left, but it's not going to matter. You're using that fancy Bay Hill ball with the lot. Oh, look at this, right on the green. Now, I'm going to warn you now, this is a tricky putt. So take your time, make sure you're center hole here. This is one of those holes where you go and you watch a playthrough of Whispering Pines on YouTube or someone that's played it. And you can see how big this break actually is. Of course, these greens and every undulation of course around the whole course is, nice putt, is really, really, really close to what they are in the real world. I've said this a lot before. You watch the harbor towns and the Bay Hills and the events on TV, and you see the course in the game. And I know watching, I'm like, that one breaks left of the cup. It breaks left of the cup. I know where that pin is. And
I saw a TikTok video the other day of someone putting, I can't remember which hole it was, but it was at Yaz Links. And they putted it way past the hole, and then it came back, curled in, and dropped. I was like, that is awesome.
You know what? This could be good. We could find that, and a nice little challenge for some of the players.
Yep.
So this is the part of Whispering Pines where I think is the scoring. So for the top players, the more advanced players, the Tour Pro guys, this is the make or break section of Whispering Pines. 15, 16, 17, and 18. You got these two back-to-back par 3s, which are very tough. And then 17 and 18 both. You got to earn the drops there. Now the rest of this course, fantastic. Super fun. It is probably the most fun to play for me on Ultimate Golf, just because it's got all those short putt course. Oh, Brent, you couldn't do that again if you tried. Wow.
Oh, jeez. That's unlucky.
Coming in hot. Damn near dumped it. All right, so we did Canucks versus Niners. Next question. Oh, nice hole, though. All right, next morning after a night, not dissimilar to the one you had at Candlestick, are you going Caesar or are you going Bloody Mary?
Caesar. Yeah.
Caesar, that is a fantastic Canadian answer. For those of you watching from outside of Canada, a Caesar is basically a Bloody Mary, but made with Clamato juice, which is a mixture of tomato and clam juice. Weirdest combination ever. So delicious.
I know it sounds bizarre, but yes, delicious would be the word to describe it.
So delicious. Now, you grew up near an ocean in BC. You're living next to a gulf, but let's call it an ocean down in the Florida area. Are you an ocean guy or are you a lake guy?
It's funny, I guess, what's that term that people use in horse racing, horses for courses. Growing up, it was lake, because I loved going to the Okanagan and boating and spending time there. But since moving here, it's absolutely ocean. Some wonderful fishing down here. Love being on the water. So I've got to go ocean now.
You're an ocean guy now. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, you live there. How can you not be? Come on. Par 5, hole 17. This is a long one. All right, two more for you. Growing up, skier, snowboarder.
Oh, skier. Yeah, and then I got decent at skiing, and when snowboarding started to take off, I was just at a point in my life where I'm like, you know what? I don't need to learn that new thing. I'm gonna stick with what I'm good at and what I know.
Were you a local mountain guy, like Seymour, Cypress, or were you heading up to Whistler?
Because we were fortunate enough to live, within 2 hours of Whistler Blackcomb, and absolutely world-class skiing. I became a bit of a ski snob, and we would go Whistler Blackcomb all the time. You can't beat the terrain, and it's a fantastic part of the world, that's for sure.
Oh, absolutely. It's and of course Whistler featured in Ultimate Golf, yes, where we do have Chateau Whistler. Make sure you go and play. We had Jeannie Carroll played that one in her VIP tournament. Did quite well. Brent here on the par 5, number 17. Leaves it a little right. Good distance, though. 1751. I mean, if we're playing real life, you're taking that shot any day.
Absolutely.
Do you get a chance to golf much now, Brent? I know I saw you. Now, you've been to some of the greatest courses and events that golf has to offer, right? Like, I saw a picture of you at the old course. I know you still drink out of that Masters mug every day, and it is not young, by the way. That mug is at least 10 years old. Ryder Cups. Have you had a chance to play any of these real fancy courses or world-renowned courses?
So I have, been fortunate enough to play a few of them. Probably most notably, if I'm trying to just remember, but TPC Sawgrass, which I got to play a number of times, and that course beats the heck out of me every time I play it. I cannot score well on that course. I am, however, 3 for 4 on 17. Staying dry is what I'll say. Because twice I hit the green. Once I actually ended up on that little ramp walkway up. It still ended up in a double bogey, but I still consider that dry. I didn't go on the water, so.
Now, like 2-putt pars? Did you par at 17?
I had 3-putt bogey, 2-putt par, and then the double that was not awesome. Now I got to be careful on this hole because sometimes I pull the string a little too much.
You know what? You're good.
Water.
You know what? We're good. You're on pin 2 here, that back left one. That pin 1. Oof. Now, the person that makes and designs the tournaments for Ultimate Golf really likes to use that number 1 pin on this hole. I wonder why. For those of you unaware, Hyp Brent is the one responsible for all your tournament fun.
I gotta keep it interesting for the players, right?
I love it. That was such a tough hole forever. So here we are, Brent, minus 25 through 18, the full course here at Whispering Pines. You know what? That is better than anticipated for yourself. Yeah. I knew you had it in you all the way along.
I had it, so we'll say that.
Oh wait, man, you figured it out pretty quick. So one little oopsie on 3. Other than that, fantastic round. I've had a blast here chatting with you, and fantastic job, man. Minus 25. So that is the score to beat for you guys at home. I'm Duff. Brent, thank you so much for joining us and stepping up to play this tournament. Nerves through 3 and then smooth sailing after that. And what an interesting story. And if there's any San Francisco police officers looking for him, he's in Florida. All right, guys, I'm Duff. Thank you so much for another fun Ultimate Golf VIP.